day, everyone. It's been a little while since I've gone live. I'm like, wow, I'm so excited. Hi, everybody. Terry Lee Harrison here with Let's Talk Networking. As you know, I am passionate about helping coaches, consultants, and solopreneurs be able to network in the most dynamic and lucrative way. I am on today with two amazing ladies who I just love how they network together, and we want to tell more of their stories. So Ann Crook is with us and Melissa Dealey. Welcome, awesome ladies.
Thank you.
Shirley.
We are truly global here on screen today. I'll introduce you to the ladies and tell you where they're from. So I think most of you know I'm coming in from Singapore. Let's start. Next to me is Ann Crook. So Ann is a certified integrative health coach. She's a holding space consultant, a certified medical interpreter, a certified birth doula, a speaker and educator and author. And she's coming to us from Nashville. So welcome. We have Nashville represented. And then Melissa Dealey is coming to us from, oh my gosh, if you all know where Whistler is in British Columbia, oh my gosh, it is just stunning. Nashville is too, and Singapore is too. Hey, they're all awesome in their own way. Okay, but Melissa is a holistic health coach and guide and integrative health practitioner. She has all natural healing solutions. She's a podcaster, speaker, and educator. She supports you on your guided health journey and believes that health is your true wealth. So, oh, ladies, we have so much to talk about, huh?
We do.
Yes. And so we've met before, and I want to find the recording that we recorded last summer. And I want to put it into the comments in case people would like to see. But these two awesome ladies are part of our virtual team, global online referral community. And they came to me last summer and began talking to me about their power partnership. When you even hear the direction of what they both do in business and their niches that they provide. The thing about power partners is we can sometimes come alongside someone who in some ways does some similar things, but yet there's something they offer we don't. And we can totally be supporting each other in business and help us serve more and more people. So last summer, we recorded a session where they told about their relationship and how they've been able to support each other so far. And we want to come back for round two. So what I'm going to do is just ask one of you, if you want to start and catch us up. Is there someone who'd like to start? And I'm just going to let you, we'll just kind of do a free flow of conversation. So who'd like to get us started today? Let's hear what's the latest.
You can go ahead, Ann.
Oh, Ann, you get to go first.
Oh, I was going to say you can go, Melissa, but I'll go ahead and start. So thank you, first off, Terry Lee, for the opportunity to speak about our power partnership. It's really a pleasure having this opportunity. And so I think we're talking about since August, correct?
Yes.
So it's really amazing to see how this journey of power partnership continues to unfold. I think we had mentioned in our former interview that Melissa and I did a podcast interview together. And I believe that was around last winter, spring of 2021. And I had this hunch that I needed to send this interview to this very important person in the health and wellness industry in my niche. And so I just decided to do it. I just said, Melissa, I think I'm going to send this to Dr. V. She goes by Dr. V. Her name is Dr. Veronique de Saulnier, and she's a health and wellness celebrity in the world of healing from breast cancer. And so I sent her the email with the podcast interview, and then just let it go. And just thought, I just kind of got that nudge on my folder. You need to send this to her. Not my folder, my shoulder. And lo and behold, about a month later, her assistant writes me back and says, Dr. V wants to interview you for her global podcast. So I was invited onto her podcast, the Wellness Warriors podcast, and was interviewed around May. That was amazing. And then right after our interview, she invited me to be one of 8 featured speakers on her global retreat. And so that retreat happened in August, and I was one of 8 featured speakers, and there were probably 400 women in attendance. And that landed me my 2 current clients that I'm now working with. I designed some health and wellness coaching packages over the summer. Those 2 ladies heard me speak at the retreat, and they're now my clients. So this all goes back to my podcast interview with Melissa that we had last winter. And
it was February of 2021.
February. Okay. February.
Yes.
So and Melissa, and so I told Melissa last year at this time around the holidays, I want to launch my podcast gig. I want to get my podcast gig going. And now it's not only turned into a podcast gig, I've been on a global retreat. I've been featured on summits. So I think the online speaking career has become one of my biggest wins for this year.
So do you know what I loved about what you said too, is that you had that hunch, right?
Mm-hmm.
We get these hunches. And sometimes if we're not in the right place of standing in our power and our confidence, we won't take those hunches, right? But I like how you even told Melissa, and I'm sure that when you told Melissa about your hunch, I'm sure she didn't say, "Oh, Anne, you shouldn't do that," right? Right. Sometimes I think that when it comes to, we talk about power partnering all the time. And before we hit the live button, I said to these amazing ladies, I said, when it works so well. And it's one of the most joyful, amazing, supportive relationships we can have in business. And, Melissa could have said that, Anne, you're not ready for that. Right. But I doubt she did. Right. Right.
She said the opposite. She said, "Go for it, girl. What are you waiting for?"
See, this is what I love about all this. And when you tell the story about how it started with one interview that was recorded, gave you the confidence to do the ask, and where it has led and how it brought you the paid clients ultimately. And that was an exclusive retreat you were invited to speak at. This is just all super huge. But so I want to just commend you on both of you on your giving spirit. This is exactly what this is about. And then let's go to you, Melissa. What would you like to share? What are some other of the awesome things that have happened?
Well, there's been so many, but I want to pick up where Anne left off there, because she mentioned the 2 clients that she's working with right now that came as a result of that retreat. And as you alluded to earlier, it's where people come together that understand each other's work, but don't do exactly the same thing. So, yes. Anne's specialty, as she's a birth doula and holding space consultant. And then she's really found her niche this year of helping women who are going through breast cancer. And there's even more than that, but that's what she was talking about at that retreat. And so she was sharing her story, and these women were drawn to her and became clients of hers. But Anne, in her recovery, has learned so much about all the different ways our body is interconnected and the importance of understanding our numbers, understanding what our vitamin D levels are, where our thyroid is at, what our estrogen level is at relative to progesterone, because obviously someone going through breast cancer wants to recover and they don't want it back again, right? And so understanding all of these numbers and then also understanding our toxic load can help us not only heal, but bring our health to a whole new level where there is no risk of that cancer returning. And so Anne referred both of these ladies to me to get their labs run. And Anne has done some of the labs with me. So she's experienced, she knows, how I work with people. She's experienced it for herself. And so I'm now working with one of these ladies who ran her labs, because she totally understands what Anne is saying about knowing what your numbers are, right? And being able to check that. And people don't even know that they can do this. So it really helps to, have Anne tell someone this is available to you, yes. Right? And so then this lady has now become a client of mine running her labs. We've just done that. And we've found some, things that are out of balance. I'm not a doctor. I don't diagnose, right? But we've found some imbalances in her body that she was so happy to find out about these, because now it allows her to take action to bring her body back into balance and further heal, right? And these are things that we can't see visibly with our own eyes. So we have to run the labs. And, the other lady I'm not working with at this time, but she's going through chemo treatments right now, and it's really best if she finishes her treatments and then we work together. So that's, spring of 2022. But it's just been so amazing to partner with these ladies, and we have them sign an agreement so that Anne and I can share their results, etc. And then we come together and we talk about, okay, these are the results. How do we both best support these individuals now? So with anything, it's always a team, right? It's always better to work in a team as opposed to going it alone. And it's the same with your health, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they feel really supported by having Anne and I come together and support them. And so that was just a beautiful result of this power partnership, and that it all started with that interview when I had Anne on episode 2 of my brand new Don't Wait for Your Wake Up Call podcast back in February of 2021, right? And
Wow.
look at where we're at today.
Shoot, I thought this was a year old. It's not. Your relationship isn't even like a year old, or is it?
The relationship's more than a year old, but that particular trigger of those wins is not quite a year old.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, we actually met in April of 2020.
Aha. Okay,
We're going on 2 years. We're going on our
in a Zoom room. We still have yet to meet in person, although we have all these grandiose plans of what we're going to do when we do.
Yeah,
of course. I think that sounds awesome. And if I was you, Anne, I'd go see Melissa at home. But that's just me. That's just me.
I will be going to visit Melissa for sure.
Yeah. Hey, let's talk about, this is one thing that I love too, is just as one of you had opportunities to like participate in events and sponsor events, how you shared a ticket and things came from that. And in another instance, one of you was nominated for an award, and the other was able to support. So, Anne, why don't you start to take us a little bit into that, and then Melissa can take us, where we're going.
Well, yes. So Melissa won the Quality Care Award through an organization called Your Holistic Earth. And I was so elated when she won the award. And she actually highlighted our power partnership. And that just meant so much to me, to know that I was part of this journey with her to get to that place, because she so deserves that award. And she actually introduced me not only to V-Team, but she also introduced me to Your Holistic Earth. And so now I've made all these connections through that organization too, which has been wonderful. They do monthly business trainings, which I'm part of with Melissa. So between these two communities, like working online from home has been the best thing ever, because I do not feel alone at all. I've got this whole global community of people, and it's just been amazing. Speak to me, and so Melissa can speak to more about her, winning that award, but speak to me more about this event that you were talking about as well. Which event are you referring to?
You know which one I'm talking about, right? Okay, go ahead.
So that's another networking community lead up for women. And I was invited to be a sponsor of the LEAP event in August of this past year. And as a sponsor, I could invite someone to participate at no charge and come to 3 days of, business training with other like-minded folks, really inspirational, really motivating. And so, of course, I think of my power partner and invited Anne to attend that event alongside me. And that, because I was a sponsor to that event, that led me to being invited to another event in October. And I was then able to invite again, one person who could, I can't remember what the deal was, but I think you paid at the regular level. So I don't know, $47, $97, whatever it was. But then you got automatic upgrade to VIP status as a result of having that ticket through me. So again, I invited Anne to this because I'm a big believer, and we're all trying to build our businesses. You can always take away, a golden nugget here or there from everyone, and you can never stop learning, right? And so these events are huge opportunities to, gain new knowledge and information as to how to build your business. And so Anne was able to join that event with me as well. So what I love about our power partnership is that it's really supporting each other alongside each other in growing our businesses. It's not all about, Anne gave me a client, so now I have to go find a client for Anne. It's about, how can I support Anne in building her business? And because we communicate regularly, and Anne is really good at saying, this is what I'm working on, or this is what I need, right? And then I hear that. And if I find that opportunity somewhere, then of course I'm going to offer that to her. And in fact, we had one just happen very, very recently that was almost random, really, that we didn't even mention to you previously, Terry Lee. And what happened there was I listened to a podcast by Health Coach Success, which I access through my integrative health practitioner training. And it's a great podcast teaching health coaches how to build their business. And I was told by the interviewer, she said, "Hey, Melissa, you should listen to this podcast with the lawyer, Corey. It's a really great podcast." So I listened to it and I went, "Oh my God, I need to work with this fellow," because I knew I needed to update all of my legal documents. I knew at the start of 2021 I needed to do it, and I hadn't done it yet. And I have a friend who's a lawyer, but why hadn't I gone to him, right? And when I heard this fellow speak, A, he had worked in Vancouver, so he was Canadian, so I knew he knew the Canadian law, etc. B, he specialized in health and wellness. That was my aha. This is who I was waiting for, right? Not the fellow that specializes in wills to do my documents.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, this is the guy that I need to work with. And so I clicked in the show notes and I clicked a link to book a call. And then I got an email back saying, "Please watch this video before you meet with me." And I watched it and I thought, oh, this is really smart. I should do this, right? And then I talked with my business coach. She goes, "Yeah, I really like it. You should do that." And then I mentioned it at Your Holistic Earth mastermind session that Anne was at and a few other people. And they were like, "Oh, share that with me." So I shared it with everyone. Well, as a result of that, Anne reached out to them to have a conversation around getting her own legal documents in order. Yes. And she didn't think at the time that she, A, could afford it or was going to move forward, but she was just investigating it. And after talking to him, she realized, I actually really need to do this. And now she's super happy that she has done that because now she knows she's protected in working with the clientele that she's working with. And so it's just all of these things just kind of flow naturally from our ongoing engagement, right?
Yes.
It's not like I sit here going, oh, I have to think of something to do for Anne today.
Yes.
I really don't. But as I go about my day, if opportunities come up, then, and I'm thinking, oh, I know Anne is working on this or that, or just simply, hey, this is a really great idea. What do you guys think? Maybe you guys would like to do it too. And it just leads to the next thing.
Isn't it just amazing? And you don't even know what's coming next. That's the amazing part. I do want to pause. Susan Jarima is with us and said, "Great collaboration. We also love having you all share your wisdom and connections at the Grand Connection." So thank you, Susan. Thank you for Susan. That. I know that you do. Do you know what comes to mind for me is I remember years ago, I was in the space where I was working on, sometimes we'll have different focuses in our business. And at that time, I was really working on launching my speaking, writing my first book, and one of my best pals and power partners also was working on her speaking career, right? And there'd be times when I would full on like get a call for a speaking engagement and I couldn't do it. And it'd be like, may I give you another name, right? We just don't know when the next thing, but I'll tell you what, it was, I've used the word joyful. It is the encouragement, the support, right? Just going through that daily, because let's face it, everyone, being a business owner is not for the weak of heart. We're going to have these up times. We're going to have the times when we're like, oh no, and knowing that you have someone that has your back, that has your highest good in mind, it's so meaningful. It's so meaningful.
It really is. It really is. And yeah, I'll just speak to that like as well. Like Melissa, just having Melissa like in my corner has made a world of difference. But also just, I mean, just the fact, I wasn't even really thinking about, I need to speak to a lawyer like this week.
Of course not.
But then after she just shared it with me, and then I had that conversation with Corey, I was like, I cannot afford not to have this in place. Like I have to act now because I work with women healing from cancer, from breast cancer. And my client right now is getting chemotherapy treatment. And so having these waivers and these liability forms and these service agreements are so important. And so I'm just so thankful because yes, it was a financial stretch, but I took the plunge. I was like, this has to get done. It's never going to be convenient financially. So the time is now. And they had a $500 discount running for Black Friday special. So I'm actually going to speak to the same lawyer that Melissa worked with this week on Wednesday. and my forms are going to be in place by the end of the week. So
that is so awesome.
Yeah.
So ladies, also, now our mutual friend Chella would say, I'm not going to throw you off the bus. We're going to throw you on the bus. But because I'm going to throw you on the bus now. We were talking before I hit the live button about like, what is next? What is next for this? And I was sharing with them about like the icing on the cake is when you can add in more people. Like right now they have a power partnership, but adding in more people and creating more of a power team. Imagine if what they've created, if they're able to add in another professional into the mix, the second person, like what if you're able to get, let's just say, a total of 5 or 6 people who they can really build this relationship out with and function even more as a team, and the referrals and the synergy and the encouragement, what a difference that can make for them in their business in 2022 and beyond. So I threw that out and I lob that out to them now. What might excite you about that? And if you can think of a type of business, let's put our big ask out there and see if we might have someone that might say, hey, I would like to talk to you ladies. So what do y'all think? Let's talk about that.
Well, I just want to say that I think it's already been starting to happen very organically.
Yes.
And again, it was because of connections. And so Anne has built another beautiful partnership with 2 other women that also work with breast cancer survivors.
3 other women.
3 other women.
Yeah.
So Dina, Anne, Erin, and yourself, and Lisa. Sorry.
Lisa, exactly.
Yes.
4 of us.
And so it was me that connected her to all of them. And then they are now working on a retreat for 2022, which is super exciting, possibly in BC. So if it's in BC, then that's when Anne will be here and I'll get to actually meet her in person. And so that's potentially one aspect of it already starting to happen. And like these ladies are taking it away. They're already starting to, launch events, et cetera, leading up to that retreat. So it's super exciting. And I think there's more of that can be happening because as I mentioned before we went live, I'm looking to build my JV partnerships. Who's that upstream person that can refer to me and then I pay them money, referral fee, right? And then who do I refer to? And it was at Grand Connection that I first heard this from Jay Fassett. So if Susan's still listening, you'll remember this day. And he talked about any problem you solve creates a new problem for someone. So you have to think about, okay, what's the new problem you've created for someone? And then who do you know that can solve that, right? And then that becomes your downstream referral partner. So the example I gave was if somebody loses a lot of weight working with me, they might need a new wardrobe. Well, then maybe I can refer them to another V team member, Tracy Pullman, who's a stylist, right? Or maybe they want to give themselves a reward because they've done all of this hard work healing their gut and regaining their health. And Anne knows all about that. It does take work, but it's worth it. And maybe you want that reward. Maybe that's a trip somewhere. So maybe you need a travel agent to help you plan that, right? And then who might be referring to me? Well, I had a great conversation with my financial advisor last week. And he has this new survey that he has everybody fill out at the start of every session. And it's asking, what's important in your life? Well, of course, health came up number 1 for me. And he said, if I see anybody whose health comes up in 1, 2, or 3, I'm going to ask them how they plan to prioritize their health. And do they have a plan? And if they don't have a plan, then I'm going to refer them to you, right? So we can have these other people in our lives with these partners, with these partnerships. How we work it all together between Anne and I don't know yet, but we'll figure out a way. I can guarantee you that.
Well, and I'd love to just add to what Melissa was saying. So in regard to this other beautiful connection, I'm one of the 4 co-founders of a community that's launching in February called the Breast Connection, Healing Plus Prevention. And as Melissa said, she introduced me to some of these other members. So Dina, who's in V Team, Dina Legland, and then Lisa Casenti and Erin Price. So the 4 of us are launching this community, and we're going to be inviting Melissa as one of our expert speakers because we're going to be launching monthly Zoom calls on a Tuesday evening all about prevention and healing around breast health. And it goes way beyond breast health. You know, it's really just going to be a very comprehensive approach. But Melissa, being a specialist in detoxification, that's such an important issue when it comes to prevention of breast cancer and just in general health. So she's going to come on as one of our experts, and we will, of course, be honoring her because she brought us together. So
That's right.
yeah,
That's right.
And these are women from all over. So Dina, I met through my health coach training a couple years ago, and we became accountability partners with one other lady. She's now in Florida. She was in New York at the time. And then Lisa Casanti, I met through V-Team, and I'm not actually sure where she's located, but somewhere in the US, and I'm sure you know. Mm-hmm. And then Erin Price, I met through Grand Connection, who we've mentioned a couple times now, and she's in BC. So it's just really cool to bring all of these people together. And that's been one of the blessings of the last almost 2 years, is being able to network online, as Anne said earlier, and meet people from all over the world. And, you know, I would never have met Anne if it weren't for that. And I would have never met you, Terry Lee, or any of these other people. Mm-hmm. And as Anne said, it's not lonely at all. I feel like I travel all over the world every single day, and it's just way more efficient time-wise than when I really was traveling all over the world previously.
Yes, so true.
Without the jet lag, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
So true. So true. So ladies, I can't wait for part 3. I don't know when it will happen, but I'm sure we will figure out when is the best time. Let's have you give a call to action if people are resonating with you, people are wanting to talk to you about health, networking. Maybe they're saying, oh my gosh, I would love to network with these ladies. So how will they get a hold of you? So let's start with you, Anne, and then we'll finish up with Melissa.
So the best way to get a hold of me is I'm on LinkedIn under Anne Farrier-Crook, and that's a great place to connect. And also my website, which is Integrative Radiance, so IVE, integrativeradiance.com. And my email address is on there. So that's another great way to find me.
Thank you so much. And Melissa?
I'm also on LinkedIn, simply as Melissa Deally, Deally. I'm the only one there with that spelling, so you'll find me really easily. Or via my website at yourguidedhealthjourney.com. You can just push the contact button at the top of the screen. And yeah, I would, like you said, Terry Lee, I'd be open to, if anybody's watching this and thinks that they would like to, you know, join Anne and I, it'd be really interesting to see what kind of other, I don't want to say industries, but healers or people there are that could, you know, join our power partnership and all work together. Mm-hmm. Right. So if people are interested, I'd love to hear what, you know, your suggestion may be, because it would be really amazing to have a group of 6 or 7 people that we're just always working together and, you know, being that core group for nurturing someone's healing.
That's right. Imagine. Yep.
I want to go real quick to what Melissa said. I love how you drew the correlation between how we heal more quickly as a community. Like when a client has a team of practitioners, mm-hmm. they're going to heal more quickly. And it's the same as business, you know, developing a business as entrepreneurs. We're going to grow more exponentially when we mm-hmm. grow as a team. So thank you, Tara Lee, for offering this community to us, because, you know, we make all these amazing connections that you just never know how they're going to flourish. And this is just one example. So.
You just never know. You just never know. So I am so blessed to have you all in my life. I want to just stop and honor you for the work you do, you know, whether it's focusing on women with breast cancer, whether it's the other clients that you may serve who are just really struggling with their health. And this is such important work, right? We can't be who we want to be who we're meant to be. For those in business, you can't grow your business when you don't have the health for it. So I just want to honor you both for the heart you have to serve others. And thank you for your time. I look forward to our next call. Maybe we'll have more people on the call. What do you think? I don't know.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
But let's look forward to part 3. I want to wish you all a happy holiday. As you all know, one of my favorite networking mantras is let's cheer each other on and help each other grow. And I know that's exactly what you do. So thank you, ladies, and thank you all who are watching. We look forward to seeing you next time at the next edition of Let's Talk Networking. Thank you,
Thank you
ladies.
so much, Terry Lee. Thank you, Anne.
Thank you, Tara Lee and
Thank
Melissa.
you.